Maybe if you introduce yourselves first, and then we can start, okay?
My name
You have to
is
speak right.
You're gonna have to
into
speak
the
right in.
microphone.
my name is Claire, and I live in Durham.
My name's Amelia, and I live in Lee.
And my name's Caitlin, and I live in Durham, or Madbury.
That's right.
And we're all 6th graders, and we are all members of the after-school STEC club.
So we are here to propose some ideas for you guys to consider for the new school. We have put together a survey about making the new school sustainable, and we had all students take that survey. So what is STEC anyways? STEC stands for Save the Earth Club. When students did a Trash on the Lawn project last year, they all had more great ideas. So Miss O'Brien and Miss Boone started STEC. STEC is a way for students to continue thinking about sustainability in the new school and as a community. It's open to all grades, and it is an after-school club on Mondays. We try to fix sustainability problems in the school and around us. This school year, we are going to try to work on Trash-Free Tuesday in the school, marker recycling, Trash on the Lawn Day, Earth Week, and setting up a classroom compost system.
So why did we create this survey? We wanted you to hear student input on current challenges they face and what they would like to see in the new school. The students had to rank their current challenges, outdoor additions and indoor additions, in order of importance to them. They also had the option to give us ideas that weren't mentioned in the ranking. We got 560 kid responses, and 390 typed in more. Some of the responses have to do with what we are showing, so we've put them directly into our presentation so you can hear the ideas. They took this survey during advisory with their own laptop, which is why we have such a great response rate. They ranked current challenges, outdoor priorities, and indoor priorities for the new school. They also gave us open answers. So the way that the ranking works is you can kind of see an orange bar to a blue bar. The orange is how many people chose that option as their first choice, and then blue is their last choice. So what we did is we took the first and second and we added them together to give the official number that you see later on the following slides.
In each category, we put the top 3 survey results. We have later slides showing up for each of them. So the current challenges for our current school are temperature, noise, and lockers. The indoor priorities for the new school are lockers, or bigger lockers, more teams for space, and an efficient cafe. The outdoor priorities for the new school are a bigger playground, an outdoor eating area, and a greenhouse. The next 3 slides will show the students what were most voted by the students. These are what students have suggested to be put into the new building.
So temperature was the #1 voted current challenge by students at 79%. We think that this is a challenge because from our experiences in May, June, and September, it tends to get very, very hot in the school. Some kids even bring in desk fans because they can't stand the heat. So we think that possibly putting in air conditioning would help out a lot in terms of heat. We also suggest geothermal and possibly solar panels, but that is your call.
The second most voted challenge in this school was noise, with 36%. We think this was voted because the new hand dryers are great, but the only problem is that they can be really loud and disrupt the classes. Also, the location of classrooms can have something to do with it, because if your classroom is near the band room, during class you'll only hear the band playing. If you're by the gym, you'll hear whistling or instruments playing in the music room. What we are saying is that it can disrupt the classrooms, so the layout of the building and what we put in the building would be very important.
Lockers were the 3rd most voted challenge at 31%, and we think this was voted by the students because in our experiences when going to or from class, we just have to stuff our things in our lockers, and sometimes we don't have enough space to do that, and we just have to shove them in and close them and hoping that things don't fall out.
So the next 6 slides will explain what students ranked as the top 3 indoor and outdoor priorities they would like to see in the new school. We put the top 3 ranked options for outdoor and the top 3 were indoor, but they overall had 6 to choose from.
So 60% of people voted playground as their first outdoor priority. They thought that having an energetic and athletic playground was the most important quality to have. The playground needs to be bigger and more interactive to students. Here are some of the responses kids gave us about having a better playground. I love being outdoors, so being able to have multiple outdoor spaces would be amazing. We should have an obstacle course or a skate park or a pump track. That would make our school so much more athletic. By the way, a pump track is like a bike obstacle course. And we will also put in a few quotes later.
39% of students said an outdoor eating area was their first priority in the new school. This would be a great place to eat because of the fall and spring weather. Being outside helps the students have creativity and sharper thinking. We also think it would be saving energy by turning off the lights and going outside.
Students ranked greenhouse as their third priority with 33%. You would get fresh and year-round food. They can also use the space in winter for lunch or small groups. You can use the greenhouse in a curriculum too, teaching kids how to grow plants. And someone even told us in their open answer that maybe if we end up getting a bigger garden or a greenhouse, we could use the food that we grow in school lunches and you could teach kids how to grow plants successfully. And the first indoor priority was bigger lockers. 50% of students said having bigger lockers was the best addition or priority for the new school. Their lockers are very cramped and they need space for a lot of things. They think we need bigger and more efficient lockers. They need the space to put binders, books, projects, backpacks, lunches, computers, and a water bottle. Lots of students also have to put an instrument in their locker since there just isn't enough storage.
The students ranked a whole team space as their second priority for indoor priorities. 37% of kids said that a whole team space was important because a whole team needs to bond, not just one class. There are also times where a whole team needs to do activities, presentations, or meetings together.
So efficient and inviting cafe was the third most priority for indoor at 35%. In the current cafeteria, there are long lines snaking into the hallway, so having more space and more efficient space would be great. Also, only having 8 chairs at a table means that when students want to sit with 8 of their friends, they have to pull up a chair and fit between 2 people, which wastes a few minutes of their lunchtime. So having longer tables would help out a lot. Also, to add on to that, the time to eat is a bit short. Like when you get inside from recess, depending if you buy a lunch or not, you get in line. Sometimes you may end up at the end of the line, which can take up to 15 minutes, which leaves you with only 5 minutes to eat.
So here are a few of the details that they gave us in their long answers. I believe that the whole building being accessible to individuals with disabilities is very important and should not be ignored.
Someone would like solar panels, a wind farm, and more efficient compost.
Water fountains and sinks in every classroom would be great. That work.
Bigger classrooms. I feel like they're pretty small. I also think that we should get maps of the middle school on step-up days.
Also, 21% of the kids who gave us long answers said to add air conditioning.
Okay, so these are a couple more of the longer answers. I think that schools should have a compost system. It is a great way to help the earth along with making the garden more beautiful. Automatic lights is also a great way to conserve energy. We could also have a collection bins for the garden. Finally, having solar panels is a great energy source.
So this was one of the answers that was more sustainable. Last year, we at STAC raised money by making and selling seed balls and bean seeds. We raised the money to build a garden compost system for the students to use.
The second quote is, I think that all of the students' specials, including 21st century skills, STEM, health, and the others, should all be close to one another because I have to go from the end of music, which is at 10:20, and I have to be at the library for 21st century skills at 10:20. So I would like them to be closer together.
So does anyone have any questions or comments?
Terrific job.
And we also wanted to let you know that, as we have said at our other presentation, that we are a resource. So if you ever feel you need more student input on events in the building of the new school, just contact us and we can run those for you if you need more things later on.
Denise?
Thank you very much. It was a great presentation with some wonderful ideas. As far as the instruments, I'm wondering if perhaps having lockers in the music wing specifically for instruments, if that might be a possibility rather than, building every locker large enough to have, a large instrument. So maybe.
Yeah, we actually already have some storage for instruments. There's violin and viola cases in the cafeteria, and then the cellos have keep theirs in the locker rooms by the gym. All three of us are in orchestras, so as far as band goes, we don't know, but.
Other questions? I just want to say that we had this 2-day workshop, and I think what you folks did in your presentation is crystallize some of the big ideas that came up again and again and again. So I think for me, because I attend mostly, I think yours was the most succinct, focused presentation of the entire 2 days. And I want to just thank you for doing that, and thank you for coming before us today. So thanks so much.
Thank you.